Hey, what's good, guys? Welcome back to another video. This time around I'm gonna be attempting to install the THOR intake into the Jeep. So yeah, this is pretty much it right here. Got the filter, the 90-degree elbow that goes into the throttle body, obviously the bracket and the actual intake tube itself. So yeah, wish me luck and come along. Yeah, I want to do a quick interior with the stock setup, which is just a hot air intake. It's not the stock one, it's an aftermarket one, but obviously it's only pulling air from the engine bay. So let's see how it sounds before and after. Close the door. So you could barely hear it sucking, but yeah, that's how it sounds with the stock intake, and I'll show you in a few seconds how it sounds with the THOR intake. Alright guys, so pretty much to start this off, what you would need to do is you're gonna have to remove this bracket that holds the wire harness together, and this sensor, which I believe is for the fuel, or the vapor can, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I apologize. Yeah, we're gonna be removing that first. We'll pretty much bring everything down to where it gives us a little more room. We'll pretty much trace the outline, and we'll start cutting from there. Alright guys, so to remove this little bracket right here, you can see there's two different bolts right there. That it looks like is a 3/8 socket. Have a 1/4 inch socket right here, so we'll start breaking these apart to make a little more room for us to start tracing out the outline and start cutting. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and pretty much start to cut these little brackets or zip ties, just so we could allow this to come down a little more. Just be careful when you do. You don't want to go ahead and cut through the actual wiring harness, because that would not be a good day if you cut any of those cables, Alright, so we're gonna go ahead, pretty much move that aside, and that should give us a little more wiggle room. So we're gonna go ahead and take the bracket. As you can see, I'm not sure if you guys are able to really tell, but this actual hole, it's more of an oval instead of a circle. So the way you do it, it's actually I got it the wrong way. Do I? No. Alright, so pretty much find the spot where it's gonna sit. Should be right there, hopefully. And you're gonna pretty much trace out that hole the way that is, instead of it, because if it's a circle, it'll be straight down, but because it's an oval, the way that the tube goes in, so you have to trace it out, kind of that angle. All right, guys, so there you have it. I pretty much got the initial cut started. I put the bracket back on, and then I pretty much traced on the inside the maximum that I would actually cut off to be able to make this all fit. You know, so it's not as simple as just make a hole and stick the filter through, because the filter is going to be way bigger than this, so you would have to make some room in order to make that fully fit. So again, I pretty much put the bracket, I made some marks, and then in the inside I pretty much, you know, a rough draft. Pretty much I made a line, and that's the most that I'll be willing to cut off. I will have to fix a few lines just to make it a little more straight, as you can see. But yeah, that's pretty much it thus far, and let me go ahead and get that started. All right, guys, there you go. So this is the final install of the THOR Trailhead Off-Road intake, Cowl intake. So as you guys already know with the Jeeps, Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, TJs, you know, the intakes are mounted, the stock intakes somewhere around here. For the XJs, I think for the TJs are over there. I may be wrong, I apologize. But as you can see, it just frees up so much space. You know, I know a lot of people that on YouTube, they say you can mount a second battery over here, or an air compressor, you know, what have you. It's definitely awesome. You know, it just frees up so much space. You could do, if you have to do any type of work on this side, you know, engine mounts, you know, whatever it is, you know, the gearbox of the steering or steering shaft, you have to change anything at all. It just gives you so much space to do so. And like I said, you know, you tug on it and it's pretty tight. You know, it's not going anywhere. And you know, so all you have to honestly do is remove this bracket, which I'm gonna mount it. I'll figure out a spot, you know, for this eventually. I gotta get some zip ties and try to zip tie that back up a little better. But overall, man, I'm super ecstatic. You know, I had to figure something out with this. You know, that's my only gripe with the intake. It doesn't come with anything like a new hose, breather hose to connect to. So I had to kind of like on the spot just think of something. So this used to be rubber-ish. I don't know if it's because the heat eventually just turned it, you know, super rigid. It's like hard plastic now. I don't know, but I had to grind it down a little bit with the grinder on this side, and I had to cut it to where it could fit a little better, and you know, I made it work. So definitely happy with the, you know, overall look and sound. It sounds so much, you know, cooler than the stock setup, you know. And I'm sure it's gonna run, as far as like the intake temperature, it's definitely gonna be a noticeable difference. I'm pretty sure of it. For those who don't know, these vents up here, that one is just for looks. No, so if it's raining, no water is going to get through there, and that's obviously where the intake is mounted underneath in the firewall. This one is actually, it actually works. So the air will go in through there, and then obviously, you know, the air will travel or go in the intake and what have you. Right in the middle, there's these holes where if water does go in, it drains, so it will never reach over to the intake. You know, so you don't have to worry about, oh, if I'm out in the rain and it's raining really hard and, you know, is my intake gonna, you know, get wet and the water's gonna go into throttle body and what have you. No, that's not gonna happen, because before it gets to it, it will drain. So yeah, you know, like I said, very happy. This actually was a gift from my wife, so I want to give a shout out to my wife. She knows who she is. But yeah, I love her. I love everybody who's watching. I appreciate you guys for the views. Again, give it a thumbs up, share it, leave me a comment, leave me some feedback. I have a lot more that I want to do to it. I want to lift it up, put some bigger tires, hopefully in the near future. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Take care. So yeah, guys, like how that sounds. Yeah, overall pretty easy install. It took me about maybe like an hour and a half, just trying to plan everything through and, you know, take my time. But I definitely like it. After the install, you know, I tugged on the intake just to see how, you know, strong it felt as far as like the rigidity, and it's tight. Like, it does not wiggle. The only part that wiggles, and that's because obviously the engine is going to move, so it has to be some play, is where the 90-degree, you know, whatever you call it, connects to the throttle body. That's pretty much the only play. Other than that, I'm very satisfied, and, you know, I could hear it, you know, sucking in that air every time you you know, press hard on the throttle. So I'm curious if I'm gonna be able to notice any difference as far as, like, you know, throttle response and maybe fuel mileage and performance. But we'll see. You know, I'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, you know, thank you guys for tuning in again. I appreciate it. You know, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, share this to the world if you could. That definitely helps me out. And yeah, you guys take care. Peace.